course. Yeah. So I'm Nabil Naamo. I'm the co-founder of Topaz here in London, and Topaz Group. Basically, we are a detailing and PPF business. We've been in operation now for the last 12 years, and essentially for 12 years we've been learning how to, first of all, do the job to the right standard, and also to be able to actually then run a business. There's two elements to our journey. I think where you guys at GaragePlug have come in is after many years of me figuring out what's the best system to use, and now we're in a situation where we obviously have, by end of 2023, we're going to have 10 sites. So it's important for me to be able to see what's happening with all those sites. And again, I'm happy that I've managed to speak to you guys and we can sort something out for our business. We had a body shop because, I mean, our business is quite niche. It's a very niche business. It's not something that is widely used for in terms of systems. There isn't many systems that purely just work on there's systems that work on MOT centers, or the systems that work on body shops, but there isn't a system that can fit in all aspects of what we need. And it was very, very tricky. So it's been years I've been trying to find a system that actually works for us. And we had multiple systems that we've tried before. And then when I got introduced to GaragePlug, when I started talking to you guys, at that point, I knew there'd be something to do. And the acid test for me was when I explained to you, Rakesh, all the things that I have that are sort of challenges in our business. Then you talked me through all the implementations that you can do in order to elevate those challenges. But then afterwards, there were still some tweaks to be done. And when I asked for those tweaks to be done, you were very, very forthcoming. And that made a massive, massive difference. So really, the main point I want to say is when we had a system before and we were talking about a system, it was mainly a body shop system. And that body shop system was very robust to be a body shop system. Even when we spoke to the developers or the guys who were supplying the software, it was almost like, yeah, well, you can change this to use this, change this to use it, but really it wasn't changing anything. It was basically the same thing that he's trying to implement for a body shop for our business, and it just didn't work that way. So that's the main reason. When we found you guys and we started talking to you guys, that's when I knew you'd be the right partner for this. The implementation was relatively smooth because we had all the data, and we sort of cut off from the last system and we put it in with the new system with you guys. But I think it was your way of dealing with it that helped a lot with the implementation. The implementation of a new system is always the most daunting thing in the world. It's, you have so much data that you haven't been collecting, and you have data that you have been collecting, but it's in a different format or a different way it looks. So it's a very, very tricky thing to be able to move systems, especially after when you've been able to be accustomed to it, or when you're used to something. I think what GaragePlug has done very well is once you have we talked you through our current system, then you said that's fine, we can implement our new system this way, and any support you need, we'll be able to help you. And that goes even now implementation to our new sites. Sigita, my colleague who is dealing with this part of the business, we are now talking about implementing 3 or 4 different systems, 3 or 4 different sites. And, Rakesh, with you and all your team that you're gonna be able to help with the training, you're there to be able to train the teams. Every site has 20, 30 people, and you can train all those people for me without having for us to get involved in the training. That's something that you can do, and you're the best to do because it's your system. I do like that because, I mean, the thing is, when you're talking to customers and things like that, it's important that they're kept up to date with the most information that you can give them. And I feel like with all the processes that you have within GaragePlug, number one, WhatsApp, very, very important. All the systems that I've used before don't have WhatsApp integration. And it's very, very important to have WhatsApp integration because I think it's the new way of doing things. People are much more responsive when you message them on WhatsApp versus trying to email them, for example. So for me, WhatsApp was a very big thing. And also, so customers like that. And also when you give the customer a link and they can click on it and they can see all the pictures, all the work that's going to be done, and they can okay all the work there and then, that's also a very nice feature to have, because then it looks like a very professional way of doing things. And it's not something that's just done that, maybe someone on the phone just, putting out a price or whatever it is. This is something very, very specific. It looks professional. I think for me personally, I know with the workshop and everyone in the workshop, something that they've been talking about, which they really like, is the service service monitoring board. That's something that's very, very important, because you'll be able to see all the jobs and in each aspect of the business of where it is, because there's many different parts of that we do in our business, from detailing to PPF, the checks before the car comes in, to checks after, the quality control. So you're able to separate that into different aspects. That's very important for the team, the workshop team, to get that sorted, which is then important for me, so I can make sure that the quality control is done correctly. So I know when the car is in this location, I know that it's currently in the process of it to be QC'd. That means it's going to be QC'd. As a business owner, the way I look at it, the reporting feature, the module of reporting, is very, very good, and it keeps on getting better and better, because I speak to you guys all the time, and the reporting aspect of it helps me a lot. And what kind of data I can get out of it also helps me, you know. So I think the module of the reporting features are very in depth, and I like that. The aspect of updates is very important for me from a supplier of software, because when, as I said in the beginning of the call, we have a very niche business. It's something that's very, very specific. So when you are essentially speaking to a software provider, when the request that you have may not be important to the software provider, because they don't see it being a value, because it's a massive change, you know, for something that a lot of garages don't use. But for someone like me who has a very niche business, it's a huge improvement. And what GaragePlug has done extremely well is be able to even look at the small aspects, the requests that I need, and then took them very seriously. So we, you know, as you know, we have a spreadsheet that we go through all the different requests, the changes that we have, and the updates, and every single one of those is literally being ticked off. So it's been really, really good, and that's why I'm here today to talk about it, to talk about why I'm happy with the software. So it's something that's that for me is the most important part of this whole equation, is how flexible you guys are, and how proactive you are with getting things to be sorted. Even there may be simple things or things that are you know, relatively not usable for everyone else, but for me they make a massive difference. Yes, I think so. So before, where in our previous system we would have a problem with the system, I would send a message to someone, they would come back to me within 48 hours, it's fine, but they wouldn't be proactive enough to get on the call or get up into the situation straight away and find out what the problem is, or if they give supportive training. With GaragePlug, it's been very, very fluid. As soon as there's an issue, as soon as there's something that I need to deal with, or there's a question, I have you or one of the team on the call within the day, and it's to go through everything and find out what's happening. So it's been, the support aspect is very important, and I feel like it's improving more and more the more that we are going through the intricacies of the system. I think the more it's even improving from your guys. So it's I'm very happy with it.